Hi, my name's John, and this is Business Update. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about the recent launch, which caused issues, received backlash from the gaming community in terms of Sega's release of Sonic, the remastered version here. Now, we were just talking about how tremendous games, if publishers understand what gamers want and offer a tremendous value or game, and people will buy it in droves, as you've seen in Elden Rings, and to the point that creating a co-op ability, which rose to the legend of Let Me Solo Her, meaning which increases the popularity, and the increases the chance of people spreading the word that how tremendous the game could be, and obviously people would follow suit. Now on the other hand, other companies just doesn't seem to get it, and obviously with their intentions here, it just goes to show what their ultimate or main objective is to just to earn the quick buck, or greedy, as you want, whatever you want to call it. And here in the case of Sega, one of their most popular IPs of all time, obviously, is Sonic, which I played it when I was still younger, decades back. And obviously, they're trying to bring it back to capitalize on that nostalgia, which is, I'm fine with it. But the sad tale is obviously, offering different schemes so that you'll eventually spend more than necessary, which is kind of disappointing, because as we've seen in past games, that games are able to offer the full experience without paying an extra buck, as long as you buy the original game itself. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, so here at pcgamer.com, so let me show you the article. There you go. So Sega quietly updates its bewildering Sonic Origins DLC chart. So obviously playing the game is one thing, but obviously they've already developed or provided several types of game modes, so that gamers or fans of the Sonic game can have tremendous value for repeat games, so to speak. But what's interesting here is offering different packages for that option, so to speak, which is obviously it's intentional and confusing if we were to look closely at their scheme. So let's take a closer look here. And at the top is, fans weren't happy when they were excited when they heard about the release of the game, but what they saw in terms of the scheme obviously is a big letdown, and obviously their intention is only to make a quick buck or maximize their revenue, not considering, if you piss off your gaming community or the fans themselves, then why would they buy it in the first place? So we'll take a closer look if it merits receiving the backlash that they did. As you can see here, so this is the nostalgia is that obviously Sonic is a popular game regardless of what console you are playing here. And obviously, with the rise of popularity of the Switch games and the PC and even the Valve Steam Deck, so obviously portability, a lot more people has more chance of being able to play the game. But obviously, typically, in years or decades past, when you're interested on buying a particular game, you just buy the retail games, and then you get the full game, right? I mean, it wasn't commonplace for downloadable content, so you expect that the publisher would provide a enriching experience in terms of gameplay from start to finish, whether it's role playing game, fighting game, if it's sports or race car simulation or whatever, you expect that you pay full dollars, and the fact that you're already paying full amount for the gaming experiences, I think you expect better from the publishers themselves. But anyway, so let's take a closer look here what they're offering here. Anyway, so Sonic put out a perplexing downloadable content or DLC chart for the upcoming Sonic Origins collection. So which contains the remastered version of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, as well as Knuckles and Sonic CD. Now, one would think that it would entice a lot of, adults who grew up playing those games. Even I was able to play some of those games, but not all of it. And actually, I wasn't able to finish it, but that's not the point. So maybe, going back to it, the nostalgic aspect is a good idea, but the main issue here is the backlash in regards to the chart, which showed various content locked off, meaning you cannot access it until you buy them, in terms of menu animations, letterbox background, and most egregiously, hard missions behind paid DLC. And as you can see here, you only get to play the basic game, and obviously they want you to pre-order and pay more to be able to access the different game modes here. And if we were to look closely here, so this one, you can see that the standard edition, as you can see the rings here, there's only one. It pertains to the main game itself, and it doesn't have any of the features, which is kind of frustrating because this is only occurring recently for the past few years. Think about 10, 20 years ago, they wouldn't even dare do such a thing, because if you don't entice the gaming community, no one's going to play your game. And in this case, they have the goals to offer you five confusing packages as to which one is better. And one would think that, let's assume that you're offering a base package, and the look deluxe one, that's which is on the right side, rightmost side here, should offer all of it, but it doesn't. So how do you how do you say that the deluxe is the best one? It has more offerings, but it doesn't offer all of it. So meaning you have to pay other. So in this case, the digital deluxe and the start dash pack, you have to pay both of it so that you can access all of it, which is kind of infuriating. And here's the sad part. If you bought the standard edition and they want you to pre-order, so that you have the chance to be able to order the start dash pack, and hopefully for future, which is they want to milk for every centavo or amount of money that they can milk from, the nostalgic aspect. The freemium fan pack, as you can see, all the added missions or modes is only offered there. And if you notice here, the classic music pack, sorry, is only offered as a separate, which is, I don't know where's the value that they're offering here. Because if you think about it, if you've played Marvel Spider-Man, which was produced by Insomnia, so there you pay for the game, base game, and you're able to experience all of it. Even the downloadable or the DLC, which they release later on, is for free. You just have to play the game. You have to have the game, and that's it. And you get to spend hours, tens of hours, or hundreds of hours, if you're trying to play it several times and over. Well, some of the missions are a little bit, padded to extend the lifespan of the game. But the point here is, you don't have to pay extra for it, which is kind of disappointing for many of the current games, which is, no thanks to, EA, Ubisoft's microtransactions, trying to milk for every cent. And even skins that used to be for free is now you have to pay a small amount, and it piles up quickly. But compared to Marvel Spider-Man, as mentioned, the skins is readily available, and if you play the game more, you're rewarded by giving you extra freebies in terms of uh, uh, features of the abilities, as well as the skin, which, it kind of mocks the other games that are charging people for that, which, I'm not going to spend any centavo for that minimal value, or little to no value, so to speak, here. And continuing here, the article mentions that the start dash pack isn't exactly great. This one is only offering the coins, the mirror mode, as well as the letter box background. So it's enticing you to purchase this so that you don't have to grind for it, which is another for infuriating aspects of many publishers. Of Sure, you don't have to pay for the skins, but we'll make sure that it's so difficult for many gamers to play the regular game at their normal pace and be able to achieve it, so that let's say on a normal basis it'll take you maybe hours to get the skins or the abilities you're trying to unlock versus you're paying for that upgrade, so to speak. But they would do, and they would rather just offer it for a fee, or you can grind it for maybe 10, 20, or even 30 hours for that same output. Obviously, after a while, it gets tiring, and no one wants to play it anymore. And I think at the end of the day, obviously, the what the company is doing is they're right. But if people continue to buy it, obviously we have no one else to blame but ourselves, because if you patronize those types of practices, at the end of the day, we are participating in their bad practices, whether it's considered ethical or not here. And obviously, we want to be able to play the full game in its entirety for the full price. Now, one thing they're offering, which is, I have another issue, is going back to the scheme here, is the digital deluxe edition, which is obviously they want you to purchase digital games online, which is fine. But the problem here, as Nintendo have showcased, is, are they going to support the digital library for the foreseeable future, years down the line, decades, or so forth, or they will shut it down eventually? And if they eventually shut down, like what they did for the eShop for the Wii games, then the how about the games that we paid already full price, and then we can even access it in the future? That's why I'm very apprehensive of buying digital games, which I've done some of it if it offers a significant lower pricing at the time. And obviously, I still prefer buying physical games, which actually, I just recently bought the Red Dead Redemption 2 game, which it's now, I think, how many years has it been since it was launched? So it's cheaper. So I tend to play the games, the top games later than usual. It depends if I really want the game. And again, getting the full value, obviously, it used to be you pay for the full game, then you get to enjoy it to your heart's content. And we get to rate it if it's tremendous game or a terrible game. And if no one played it, typically that gaming publisher will struggle mightily. And you know, if they become popular, like how Rockstar did, or even Bethesda, or even CD Projekt Red, sometimes they take advantage of their popularity and abuse it to the point that upon successive release of future games, you have Fallout 76, and then you also have what do you call this, Cyberpunk 2077, and even from Rockstar trying to do the same thing what Sega is doing here by releasing the GTA trilogy series. If you remember, it's a rehash with no remarkable improvements. Even the modding community at the time, which they try to take down because they want to sell their own games. But the point is, the game committee even provided a better experience for the GTA trilogy series compared to what Rockstar released. I think was last year. I think, and the sad fact is, we expect a lot from our publishers if they want us to spend a lot of money. Which, in fairness, I tend to spend a lot if I really enjoy the game, to the point, like, let me give you an example. The latest game that I bought in several consoles. So I bought the Sifu game in PC, which I finished, and then I bought it again for the PlayStation 4. That's how enjoyable the game. So the replayability, the enjoy that I got, I'm willing to pay double the amount. It's not only that. I think another game that I bought, Final Fantasy, the original, the Final Fantasy 7. I originally played it in the original PlayStation, and then when they re-released it for the Nintendo Switch, I bought it again. So I'm willing to spend if it's good value, whether it's the original content or the nostalgia they want to capitalize. I'm fine with it. Another good example is Hollow Knight. I enjoy playing that game, even though it's a very difficult game. I bought it for the Switch. I bought it for the PlayStation. I bought it twice for the same game, right? And actually, another game that I'm, fond of playing is Don't Starve. You get to play it on the Switch. I get to play it on the PC. I get to play it on my smartphone, and I bought it 3 times. So if companies or publishers realize that people are willing to spend a lot of money if you just provide them with significant value for their gaming experience, and and I have no problem shelling out a lot of money. But case like sports, FIFA, the every year minimal to no iteration. Another worst game is Madden is another. But at the end of the day, if people still buy their products and lots of people, tens of millions of people buy their product, then it emboldens those publishers to continue their, whether it's considered good or bad practices at the end of the day. But hopefully this video has given a general sense of what companies tend to do if they, they'll try to get away with whatever they can if it's possible. That's why it's important to spread the word, have an open discussion, and listen to what they're trying to say if it merits what they're trying to do. For companies to make uh to generate revenue is fine, but how they go about, if it doesn't provide value to the consumers, and what would I even buy it? That's why I'm very concerned for Rockstar and even Bethesda. Bethesda's the next series for their Elder Scrolls 6. So I'm very scared if they're able to, you know, provide the same experience when they did when I played the fourth one, Oblivion. I played parts of Skyrim. I haven't finished that. So I'm hoping that they'll able to continue the success. And then for Rockstar, you have GTA. You have, from the GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 4, Liberty, and then you have GTA 5. And then the debacle, which is the Red Dead Redemption Online, which is kind of scary. So you don't know what to expect. That's why, for my personal sanity, offering us pre-order is not a good choice anymore for anyone's concerned. I'll wait for the reviews. If it's tremendous value, if it's a good enough game, then I'll buy it. Whether it's first day sale or maybe years down the line. But again, hopefully it helps us, makes us better decision makers so that we can, have an enjoyable experience. Because I think no, I think everyone can agree that no one wants to have a terrible experience in terms of, playing a terrible game because companies, a game that comes to mind is the popular Gran Turismo. I used to play the original one and the succeeding ones, but now what they're offering, the microtransactions, making it difficult for people to enjoy the entire game, which is, has, obviously they've changed their strategy, obviously trying, it's still a good experience in terms of the visual fidelity that they're offering, but obviously as a totality you expect more from those publishers. But anyway, that's just my opinion, whether you agree or not. Anyway, leave your comments down below if you think the what those companies like Sega, or even EA, or even Ubisoft has merit to what they're doing here, or maybe we deserve better as a consumer here. Anyway, I think that's about it for our discussion again today. Anyway, come back again on Wednesday for more business update. As always, I'll see you again the next time. Take care.